Hello, hello, beautiful people, mi gente bella. Welcome to another edition of Santana Says, where we talk about everything from roadblocks to relationships, everything in between, and the overall journey of life. I am excited as always to bring you another edition of this show, but also another wonderful guest. I am pumped. So we are in the middle of our Take Me to School series. So I'm trying to learn a little something new. I'm trying to get put on, if you will. But just really, it's also a lot of dope people. And this particular guest, I actually wanted a long time ago, y'all. Y'all have no idea. So I started my little Dope Dad series last year, and I wanted this person as part of that. I also wanted the other person that was in this series, Watts, the producer of this show, who also was on this series. I also had wanted him a long time ago. So y'all are overdue, just so you know. So I'm glad we finally making it happen. But could you tell the good people a little bit about you? Who are you? A little bit about what brought you here today.
Sure. Thank you for that.
Yes,
First of all, I appreciate it.
absolutely. Of course.
My name's Reinaldo de Jesus.
See.
I go by the name of Ricky.
Yep,
Those that know
okay.
me from the east side.
Right.
I'm also a designer, Navy veteran, community activist, vice president of the New Era Young Lords Ohio chapter,
Nice.
teaching artist,
Yeah.
teach digital art, visual arts,
Right.
and that's a little bit about me.
Which is dope. I mean, I say just to name a few, ¿verdad? Just a couple things that you do, which is awesome. But also, thank you for your service, sir.
De nada.
There's it. Claro que sí. But and speaking of that, that's actually a couple few things I did not know. I must say I knew a lot about the creative, for sure that. But was that always a plan? Did you always know that you wanted?
Well, no.
Okay.
No. I guess it happened. It happened because I moved from Cleveland.
Okay.
So when I was 14 years old, I left Cleveland and I moved to San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
With my father and my sisters. And being out there, being a city boy, it was a
Right.
culture shock.
Yes, of course.
Being up in the country, in the mountains is totally different, which
Right.
it was good. It was a good
Yeah.
thing. But being exposed to that and going to school there and just being exposed to the culture,
Right.
in a sense, kind of opened my eyes to other options.
Yep.
And when I finished high school, I graduated high school out there. I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
And I, I don't want to say that I didn't want to come back to Cleveland.
Right.
I just didn't know what I was going to do when I came back.
Right.
So I took the ASVAB and they went all the way up there, up in the mountains to go talk to me. So I found that very interesting.
Okay.
They put in the effort and
Yeah.
I joined the Navy.
Wow. Did they take you all over different places?
Yeah, they did. In Persian Gulf, Dubai, Kuwait,
Wow.
Croatia, Spain,
Okay.
France, the French Riviera.
Wow. So Casina.
Yeah.
Okay, right, exactly. But got a couple. Okay.
So that's where I was exposed to culture.
Right.
Hence
Yeah.
what I do in the brand and all that stuff.
Yeah. Which what is that? So yeah, for the people that don't know.
Cultura Clothing Company. It's basically a clothing and merch and artistic brand. Our motto is not just race, is what you love to do.
Right.
And also wear it proud.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. But so I know cultura, like you said, culture, it's the framework of a lot of the things is how, it's obviously behind your branding and all of that. But was that always something that you held very dear? Did anybody instill that in you, or was it those experiences, or where would you say?
Those experiences.
Okay.
Not just those. Growing up here.
Okay.
Growing up on the east side. You already know, back in the 90s and in the 80s, there was a melting pot of different cultures here.
Right.
Especially, growing up where we're from. I was exposed to, Puerto Ricans,
Right.
African Americans, Slovenian, Arabic,
Yeah,
Croatian.
Right.
Coming from a Croatian and Slovenian neighborhood,
Right.
So, yeah, it's being exposed. I think that's where it started.
Right.
And then the fact that I was in a Hispanic household.
Yeah.
So you had to speak it in the house. You had
Right.
to, I was exposed. My parents were first generation here. So
Right.
they brought all that with them,
Right.
in a sense. But it comes from the experiences more than anything. And then the travel with the military
Right.
and also being in the military too. So.
Oh yeah, because that'll definitely show you a lot. I mean, as you had in your experience. But then, so Puerto Rico, were you so you were born there and then
And I
came
was
here?
born in Connecticut.
Oh really?
I was born in
Okay, that's where the
Connecticut.
story began.
Yeah, I was born in Connecticut. My parents moved to Cleveland
Okay.
in the mid 80s.
Okay.
And I was raised here.
Oh really?
And I
Okay.
graduated out there when I
Right, but then you went back and did okay. So then, but the cool thing is, I see you going to Puerto Rico a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's the funny part. You see, I almost thought you were born there because, like, although we all, you know what I'm saying, we all trace our roots back, and we do all that. But you actually went there later on then. So you like shared a lot of your time here, and like you said, it was definitely very shocking, like comparatively. But it appears that, like you said, it shaped you a lot,
It
like
did.
given that it was at that
It
time.
was shocking, but in a positive way.
Right.
I got to learn more about my family, my parents, where I'm
Yeah.
from, my roots,
Right.
culture, just
Right.
costumbre,
Yeah.
and like I said, being a city boy, it was totally different.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was a
What
culture
is
shock in a
this?
sense, but I think it was awesome that it
Yeah.
happened because it opened a part of me in my mind and in my heart that I didn't know was there,
Right.
and respecting and loving where I'm from and
Right.
who I come from and all that energy and everything and all the dopeness that we instill, And when I
Right.
say we, I say the people of Puerto Rico, out into Puerto Rico.
Right. And I agree with you because now my thing is, so in my case too, I was not born there, but I mean, ain't nothing like going to Puerto Rico, y'all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that is not, I mean,
Definitely gotta go. You gotta
yeah,
do that.
exactly. If you haven't, which, we definitely encourage, because I mean, I also love like that they applause as soon as you get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the one
On the
lane,
plane.
right? Yes. When we arrive and we land, we know where we at.
Yeah.
So like, it is gorgeous. And I agree with you. It's just a different feeling though. Like
Yeah.
when I get there, it's just relax.
I tell everybody that when you go there, you're unplugged. You're plugged
Yeah.
into a different frequency.
Right. Ooh, that's true. That is true. And that's not something that really can be matched. Like I love Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? That's home. That's everything. And you're right. It's very city. Where we at, that's urban all day.
It's fast.
Yeah, it is though. It is. And there is just like, it is totally different. And I just love like that country, that campesino, that like outside. And they know things that are just so much, more than what we do. It's richer, you know what I mean, in a sense, because I feel like, yeah, we're fast paced. We do a lot here, but we don't know nothing about what they know. You know what I'm saying? And how to actually live off the land and do these things. And it's stuff that I'm just like still impressed and super moved by to this day. But I agree with you. It's not something we have. Like it's definitely totally different.
Definitely different. And just being like, I go there a lot because it's like, if that wouldn't have happened,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gone as much.
Mm.
And I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason.
Yep.
And that basically was like the beginning of my journey, I think, was when I moved out there, wanting to learn more about not just our people, but everybody.
Yeah.
Be open about it,
Exactly.
and welcoming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. And be able to have that.
Mhm.
And you also are like, but you're also like bilingual. That's another reason why like I put you, I mean, jibarito al final. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely, And then I'm assuming like, even though you were raised here, family was just really good about speaking Spanish to you
No,
then?
we
Like,
had to. We had to
yeah, it
speak
was no
Spanish
other
in the
way.
house. Yeah, había que hablar español en la casa.
You're right.
And then it was like a switch. In la
Yeah.
escuela, or even in going to the appointments. Like I would be the one that had to speak English.
Right.
Translate. These roles automatically arise.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which is
Exactly.
cool because being put in those scenarios is like pulling a tool out of a toolbox. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes I would like be frustrated, like, well, really, Mom, why are you making me do this stuff?
Exactly.
I'm a kid, but I guess it helped. It helped a
Right.
lot, shaped me, and it actually helped me practice it.
Yeah, this is true.
Because if you don't practice, you lose it.
No, I mean, amen. But agreed though. I was definitely doing like balancing checkbooks, you know what I'm saying? Being an accountant and all these things. But now, I mean, I don't play with paperwork, like you said. Like I know how to get things done. I don't have to wait on anybody. Like they taught us early, like how to, schedule things like you
Yeah.
said, you know what I'm saying? Be able to like negotiate with different people. And yeah, like literally as kids over here being
Being
secretary.
responsible. in a
Yeah.
sense, Yeah, we're young, but those
Right.
tools were given to me and to you at an early age.
Right.
I see it as a positive, not a negative.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, and it's true. I definitely think, like, if anything, it would be better too. Like, some of those things aren't also taught automatically. You know what I'm saying? In schools, all those things. So it's like us being able to have those kind of soft skills that we could take into the workforce is great. But also, like, it definitely paid off with you because you are clearly a self-starter. You know what I'm saying? You've seen all these opportunities and you have like created your own. And is that, well, I know you do the teaching artist and all those things, but did you always know you was also going to do like business and things, like that you were always going to be self-employed? That was always,
Yeah. I always saw it because it comes from my dad, work ethic.
Yeah.
My dad coming from a city, a real smaller city than San Lorenzo, and being a farmer,
Right.
from a farmer's background, they had to barter trade. They had to deal with animals,
Right.
horses, the whole nine. You already know.
Exactly.
So I get that from him. And the military, just being
Yeah.
exposed to like responsibility,
Right.
structure, like not settling,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, um, always trying to better yourself in a sense, academically, physically, mentally.
Right.
Kind of instilled those tools in me.
Mm.
And it got to a point where I just felt like it was time for a change. So while in the military, I actually had a business.
Okay.
I don't know how I did that, but
Right. Hey.
maybe, I ran a restaurant.
Wow.
It
Okay.
lasted about a year and a half. I learned the
Yeah.
lessons,
Yeah. Why
but I
not?
was like 20 years old,
Right.
and
Okay.
really, really a life lesson on
Right.
like business 101.
Yeah,
Not
for
knowing
real.
nothing, just wanting to do something.
Yeah.
But that basically was like the point where I was like, you know what, I can do this regardless if it doesn't work out. I
Yeah.
can use this as a stepping stone and make it better.
Right. And see. Okay.
Yeah. So when I decided to separate from the military, I was already selling T-shirts from the trunk of my car.
Right. Yeah,
I
I
was
do
already
this.
networking at art events in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I was stationed at,
Okay.
doing art walks and different events there. So it kind of transitioned
Right.
from there to here.
Okay.
Didn't necessarily pick up as
Right.
fast as I thought it would.
Right.
Shelved it for a little bit
Yeah.
till I transitioned from being a vet. Civilian life is kind of hard
Right.
for a lot of veterans,
Yeah.
but I just didn't let it stop me.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be my own boss after leaving the government in that atmosphere.
Right.
Like I just didn't want to have anybody telling me what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, you know what, this is gonna work or it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I gotta give it
Okay.
everything I got. So we're here.
Yeah.
It's blossomed into something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's exciting. Like you're like, this is
when you're doing something passionate, when you're doing something that you really love to do, it doesn't feel like work.
yeah.
So you stay up late.
Right.
You deal, you take all the blows, and
Exactly.
you shake it off. And you're like, all right, what's next? So
Right.
that's where I'm at. I mean, it doesn't feel like work to me. It's
Right.
and I'm pouring into my personal cup.
Yeah, exactly. But man, 20, that was early. So you early little business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was such a cool way to get that introduction, like you said, to that world, what it takes, those sacrifices and all
Making
those
those
things.
mistakes.
Yeah. Early on is dope though. Like, and restaurant, like, did you just was
It
like,
was a sports bar and grill. It was
Okay.
It's called Sabor Latino.
oh, cute.
So I
Okay.
had to throw a little land flavor. in
Yeah,
there,
exactly. Come on, y'all.
Combine the sports.
Right.
It was Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Colombian.
Nice. Okay. But year and a half is also not like a small thing though. You at least had it open for a little while. It's not like it was right away.
It was just hard to juggle because of the commitment with the military.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But-
I can see that.
But I could say I did it.
Yeah, at the end of the day. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I'm still impressed. I'm like, what? That's so cool. Like to even say that I did that. You know what I'm saying? Is like you said. But I also love that you did mention a lot of benefits, you know what I'm saying, with your participation in the military, because now I know that can be complicated.
Yes.
Like being in it is not always the easiest thing for folks to do. And you mentioned it a bit when you said that transition from veteran to civilian specifically. So like, I think it's great that you extracted like the organization, the structure, but were there like some difficulties that were hard?
There's cons, just like everything else that you do that's structured.
Yeah.
There's things, moments that you might not want to do what they tell you to do.
Yeah. Period.
Or like being exposed to different ideologies and
Right.
ways of thinking and racism and
Right.
you know what I'm saying. I was at the time in the military where there was like hazing still involved.
Okay.
A lot of crazy
Yeah.
stuff, old traditions.
Yes. Yeah.
know,
We love those.
So yeah, there were
Yeah.
pros and cons, but I think that happens everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Anything
inescapable.
you do,
Right.
everything's not going to be perfect.
No, it's not.
It's just how you react.
Absolutely.
And how you bounce back from that.
Right. Right.
If you're involved in anything.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. And knowing how to take that in stride. Because, yes, it isn't something that we can necessarily escape, but we can absolutely learn how to navigate it. And I do love, like you said, that you were able to take from it what positive skills, like, and then apply that. And also, like, knowing that, and then so you did it while you were in the military. So they, like, were they at all supportive of you being able to be an entrepreneur? Like, were they at all connected, or it was just something you did while you
Yes and
participated?
no.
Okay.
It's more or less like, when you're in, you have a certain set of, like, there's a mission.
Right.
There are things that need to be done.
Period.
and
Okay.
So that takes precedence.
Okay.
But on my off time.
Yeah, you're able to do what you
or
want. Okay.
While I'm local.
Yep.
I'm on, like they call sea duty.
Okay.
So when you're locally and you're on your base, you can actually tap into other resources,
Right.
courses, classes, school,
Oh,
and
nice.
they help out. So it's like, yeah, you do get support.
Yeah.
It's just more or
Nice.
less like depending on what you're trying to do.
True. Exactly. Where you gonna put that? What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. But then you also mentioned there was definitely a lot like ideologies and different things. I know that you are absolutely like an artist, but also like a member of the Young Lords, you know what I'm saying, party. And so for those who are unfamiliar with the Young Lords, we did have one. We had Manny on the show. So, you know,
Chairman Manny Check.
exactly. So I'm gonna
Shout
say if
out to
y'all
Manny.
right, yes, if y'all haven't tapped in, that's another episode. Go check that one out. But like definitely with that, there's a lot of, you know, artistry in general gives you a chance to also explore messages. And I actually meant to ask you that too though. Did you artists too? Like did you that was always infancia? Like where did that begin? Like were you always an artist? Okay.
As
So
a kid, music, dancing.
right.
We were blessed to be raised in the area that we were raised,
Yeah.
because the people who were there before us came from Puerto Rico, came from the country, came
Right.
with tradition, came with respect,
Right.
morals, you
Yeah.
know, principios, you know, like,
Exactly.
and they passed that down to us.
Right.
So being raised, I was blessed to be raised in the culture, the music, the instruments, the history. That was key. So once I got the chance to actually be like, okay, I'm done with this, and then I want to pursue this, which is
Yep.
graphic design, visual arts, digital art.
Right.
That's my canvas.
Okay.
That's how I could express what's in
Right.
here.
Exactly.
It's been bottled up, you know. That's
Right.
you know, not just in the past but the future, because we're living a lot of stuff now that
Yeah, we're living a lot of interesting things now. We were recently, yeah. So there's so many emotions that I currently have about being a Puerto Rican
Yeah.
that I'm
with
like
you.
gently, yes, I'm like gently trying to bring them into our conversation. We've done it before with different folks. I appreciate Manny for sure. Rosa, we had Rosa on the show, so that's another one. You know what I'm saying? What's up, my little guerrera over there? So like, you know, and I appreciate that because. I mean, I don't know when y'all gonna listen to this episode, but I mean, if you are, you know, we appreciate your support as always. But we just got told that we are on an island of basura, essentially, it's an island of trash. I don't, I need y'all to understand what that did to us as Puerto Rican.
definitely is not an island of basura.
It's not.
It's an
Let's start
island
there.
of riqueza,
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
richness,
Yes, it is.
in all essence, in all shapes and forms.
Right.
For those that don't know, like, Puerto Rico has the only tropical rainforest
Let's
in
go.
the national park system.
Right.
All types of ecosystems,
Exactly.
fertile land. I can go for days.
Yes, exactly. No,
You
for
know,
real.
you know.
Yeah, and it obviously what brings you back. I mean, we're from there anyway, so I'm gonna want to go to Puerto Rico. I don't need a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime, I just need money.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm
that's the
saying?
key.
Exactly. Just give me enough money, y'all. Y'all trying to support this flight.
And honestly, it's not really that
It
expensive.
isn't, but it isn't. It is not. Yes. It's just really cool though, like you said, back in the 80s and 90s, like it was so much cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I remember, mommy, that's why we would go all the time because it was like $100 a ticket.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't nothing. So it was like a little bit more, but agreed. It's actually not. It is quite affordable. And on top of that, it's still a U.S. territory.
It's
So
not too far, too.
it's just really not
It's
though.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not an island of basura.
We're
We'll
not.
get that right. We're not.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Que se vayan pa' su casa.
Yeah, exactly.
With that stuff. But
Right.
but yeah, like what's going on lately is really, really we're in a really
Yeah.
sensitive time.
Yes.
If that's, you know, the proper
The word, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
use that.
it's sensitive.
Sensitive. Yeah.
But we're here. We've been here. We've been mistreated for hundreds of years.
Right.
This is not something that's new.
No, not at all.
It's just the fact that we need. When I say we, I include myself, because you never stop learning.
Right.
We need to be more educated.
Yeah. I do agree
and
with you on that.
respectful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we could stand to do that. It doesn't always, but yes, could we? You know, find ways.
We can pick and choose our battles.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I see it. But we should not allow these things to keep happening.
Yeah. I definitely, yes. I do agree with you there. And what I appreciated was, so speaking of education, in your case, you definitely grew up though. So you did know about history of Puerto Rico and things like that. I will definitely tell you, not for me. I'm upset now because I got hip to it as an adult and I'm still upset. You know what I'm saying? With some of it, just because, you know, you wish you could do so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you shouldn't be upset because we're always learning.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Some more than others, some before, some after.
That's
you know?
right.
So you shouldn't be upset because you got it.
That's true. That is true.
Whether
See?
it be early or late, but
Right.
you know, we never stop learning.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing, especially if you're passionate about something. Always
Right.
soak it in, pick up on new things, meet people that are in the movement, you know,
Right.
that are part of the history, you know, like, I don't know. It's, to me, it's
Yeah.
like never ending.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true though. And actually more upset, not necessarily at the time I got it, upset at what's going on. Is what I would actually say. Because like there is a lot that's going on with Puerto Rico, and I agree that I don't know that everybody's familiar, because the way we talk about it, I could definitely tell that some folks are just, I mean, I'm not just gonna say, you know, like just drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not just gonna say just that, but it's just that I just think America has been very effective at making it as if,
Omitting it.
yes, correct, which to their advantage, because I mean, that's obviously part of it. It's gonna be, it's not in their benefit to admit that there's a lot going on with America, and that they're at fault for it. I mean, at the end of the day, and they also don't necessarily want people to mobilize and do things. And so, like, I think it's, I mean, most artists, that's what I think is wonderful about what you all do is, like I said, like we talked about, messages, you know what I'm saying? You're able to do a lot. But you definitely, I know, are somebody that cares a lot about that, because not only do you do your artistry work, you know, and you have a whole brand that's built on cultura and all these things, but as a member of the Young Lords Party, y'all do a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
We
Together.
do a lot of stuff, not just here in the U.S.
Right.
You know, we've been working on strengthening the bridge with, you
Yep.
know, because there's a lot of stigma with the diaspora and the Puerto Rico relationship,
Right.
you know, and it's basically like the disconnect is more or less like trying to be accepted.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
You know, like when we leave our country, it's like we left something
Yep.
and we didn't choose to leave it.
Right.
Circumstances, you know, are what makes that happen, right?
Yeah.
For the Young Lords, we are trying to strengthen our communities locally,
Yep.
and also build that and fortify that bridge
Right.
from the diaspora to the mainland.
Yeah.
So we go out, we travel
Right.
twice a year.
Hmm.
We do the Back to Boating Ken project.
I love
You
that.
know, we work with other organizations as well.
Right.
The Lifting Puerto Rico project. You know, shout out to Rosa and her
Exactly.
crew. You know, and even like personal.
Yeah.
I go personally, you know, twice, 2 or 3 times a year if I
Right.
can.
Exactly.
And when I'm there, I'm connecting with the locals. I'm
Right.
shopping local. If I need something, I'm going to the ferreteria. I'm not going to
Right.
the other big chains. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
exactly.
So I keep the money amongst ourselves,
Right.
the business amongst ourselves, and the experiences and
Right.
the moments amongst ourselves.
Right. Ooh, and I love, and that is really, you know, great work, and it's community work at the end of the day. So I know that, you know, that was something that Maddie was also trying to clarify, and I'm glad that we have another person on that can attest. You know what I mean? As somebody who's in it, I don't, you know, I'm sure you've heard that though, like that folks try to make it seem like it's something like too politically charged, or that it's like gang affiliated and things like that.
not.
Exactly.
No, if you know the history about the Young Lords, they were a gang in the beginning.
Right.
They were, but there was a pivotal moment where the organization had to make a decision.
Right.
You know, because they had to fight those battles for us. They were
Right.
getting the right treatment. We didn't have programming. You
Yep.
know, free lunch program. You know, a lot of the Young Lords structure is modeled on the Black Panther Party.
Right.
So, you know, there's legacy there.
Yep.
There's culture, history, education, not just in that moment, but before it. Like,
Right.
just things that build up that needed to happen
Yep.
in order for our people to succeed.
Yes.
And it's never ending.
Right.
You know? But we're making the strides. We're doing the people's work. We
Right.
do boots on the ground. We call it boots on the ground now.
Oh yeah.
Where we go to places, not just Puerto Rico.
Right.
We have chapters all around the country.
Right.
You know, and the message is the same.
Right.
It's just, you know, educating,
Right.
helping, and fortifying those cultural relationships.
Yes, absolutely. And would you like, do you have ideas on what are the better ways that folks could probably get that education? You know what I mean? If they are looking for it, or like what's helped you the most in
Um,
general?
I'd say locally it would be to tap in with us.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, we're basically we're here.
Right.
We're open to educate our people, and not just
Right.
when I say our people, I mean black, brown, and white.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
it's not one sided here.
Yeah.
And I'd say books,
Yeah.
definitely. Books are really pushed aside a lot.
Yeah. That
You
is
know?
true. Like it's a lost art or
You
something.
know,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I say, you know, literature, books, and dig
Yeah.
for yourself.
Right.
It's your journey,
Yep. True. True. True.
right? We're all in the same journey, but
Right.
your journey might be a little bit different than mine.
Right.
You know, or you might gravitate more towards something that I haven't.
Yep.
That I might not. So
Exactly.
I think it's more individual in a
Right.
sense, but also collective,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, absolutely true.
You know.
And I do agree. And I know you recently shared one of them, which was the War Against Puerto Ricans. So
Yes.
good book, y'all. Pick it on up. And like you said, it lets you know that these things did not begin yesterday. Like they've been going on. And I think, man, I was so moved because like there's this lady named Leticia Maldonado, if you know her. But like her mother, like I gotta get her on the show too though. Her mother like has this park dedicated in her name on the west side. But she was just saying that she knows people who literally were affected by the infertility, you know what I mean, that occurred in Puerto Rico. Like these things are not like super removed.
They're not included nowhere. You don't see them anywhere.
No.
Unless you dig in a book or
Yes.
read a book.
Right.
They're not included in the educational structures.
It's really
They're
not.
not included here. They're not included in Puerto Rico.
Right.
You know, I was a part of the Puerto Rico education system.
Yeah.
Rarely did I hear anything about the stuff that was done, the stuff that we went through,
Right.
you know, the challenges.
Right.
So tapping into the literature, organizations,
Yeah.
not just ours.
Exactly.
There's plenty of dope organizations in the city of Cleveland.
Right.
And if you're not from Cleveland, I say, you know, we have libraries, internet, like there's
Yeah.
so many
No,
options,
yeah.
you know
There's
what I
things
mean?
that could tap you in for
You
sure.
just have to really want to do it.
Yeah, this is true. But I did love what you mentioned about like being able to do that individually and collectively. Because yes, I think that Puerto Ricans, we're interesting. We're so interesting because we're a mix.
Yes.
But we're made up of a lot of different things. But then we don't come together all the time. Like we're
show up.
Yeah, we do show up though. We definitely do. And I did love when I was there, like there definitely been some strong movements that have happened in Puerto Rico for sure. Like overturning a governor, for example. Like,
Pero que renuncia.
yes, that was awesome. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're in a moment right now
Yeah.
where a lot of things are happening in the political scene,
Right.
and a lot of awakening
Yep.
is happening.
Yes.
People are tired,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and I see change coming.
Yeah.
I really feel it.
Yep.
And I just hope that it's beneficial for the island
Right.
primarily.
Absolutely.
You know?
It is needed though. But agreed. And I think it's reflective of, yes, like people having enough, but also a lot of people wanting to speak up, period, in a way that they have not always before. Because I remember even like we were there when the renuncia was going on, but also Rosselló, all these different things that were happening. And I remember even my own mother being kind of like shocked, like, wow, these kids are really like, yeah, like, because there was a lot of young people.
Made it happen.
Yeah, for real. And low key in a way that they might, you know, like, I don't know that she would have necessarily not wanted to be a part of it, but not everybody was willing to necessarily. And we're in such a good time where people are like, nah, like if I'm not with it, I'm gonna say something.
When you mention that, I think when we mention the previous generations,
Yeah.
I think it's more or less costumbre.
Yeah.
When you're set,
Yeah, you're used to it. You're used to a way of life.
we didn't have to go through those trials and tribulations that they had to.
That's true.
Sometimes, you know, a lot of our parents and your grandparents and great grandparents had to suck it up,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
deal with it.
Right.
No
You ain't got no
no
choice.
decían nada,
Right.
you know, and we're in a different time.
Right.
And we have different tools,
We do.
you know, and I think that we should use them,
Right.
you know, and obviously it's like a double-edged sword as well.
Right.
You got to know how to use it and what to say. You know, I like I said, pick and choose your battles.
I mean, absolutely. Right.
Y, you know, cogerlo con calma. Yo soy bien pasivo, pero tampoco, you know, I can only talk about myself.
Right.
But when I want to say something, I'll say it.
Yep.
And my vessel's art.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I love, because that's what a beautiful transition. Look at that. Because I definitely was going to say that too. And I think it's really dope that you even do the digital art as well. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, sidebar, I need to get you at my school. Because you know I'm at the Cleveland High School for Digital Arts, by the way.
I wasn't aware.
There you go. So that is the school up the street. Yeah, where we're coming to y'all from is from Cleveland. And yes, I'm like, yeah, I would love, because I actually
be
tried.
interested.
Yes, okay, cool. Because I just would love to see, you know, those students see more, you know what I'm saying, of individuals in like professional spaces using the digital arts and like how they can use it. But then also how dope that, you know, you yourself do use it for also messages and communicating things. Like it can do so much.
Yeah, and I don't only use it. It's not just for business.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
that's
Yeah.
my passion.
Yeah.
And like I told you before, I'm more of a behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I got you out here.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
you did. You know, I was like, yeah, here we go. I'm talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a vessel, and I think that it opens doors.
Yeah.
Sometimes that are closed.
Yeah.
And that's just my way to go about. Like that's just the way that I go about doing it.
Yeah. And you're also, so in the midst of your art, you're a teaching artist, like you said.
Yes, I teach.
So yes,
I teach
yeah.
for 2 different organizations. I
Okay.
teach for Foluke Cultural Arts Center in the Central neighborhood.
Nice. Nice.
And Peluque is one, and then Future Ink Graphics.
Okay.
Pivot Center on West 25th.
Yes. How dope is that? Okay, so that wasn't just like a you work, like do a lot of work with them, or like I
Well,
wasn't.
I'm hired as a teaching artist. You know,
Okay,
at the
nice.
end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, through obviously through my endeavors with Cultura Clothing. So
Okay.
it's always been
Oh, that is
it's
cool.
like
That's led to the
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Because okay, so like you recently had, and I didn't get the chance to come out, but you had these workshops, these really,
Yes.
really cool
Yeah.
workshops. And I was like, I swear, especially the Thursday one, I was like, I'm gonna make it happen. But just so y'all know, Britton and Tim, I'm glad I came to y'all comedy show, but y'all robbed me from my chance. So next workshop, I'm there.
Well, we're gonna be doing that.
Okay,
again.
good. Yes.
We're gonna be doing that again.
Okay.
That was made possible by the Urgent Art Fund.
Okay,
Shout
cool.
out the Urgent Art Fund, Spaces,
Okay, good.
the Cleveland Arts, initiatives and stuff. And then
Yeah.
also Future and Graphics that
Right.
opened the doors for me to be able to
Okay.
have it there. That was during Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, yes,
where
yes.
we taught individuals how to print with plants, and it was also like a holistic,
Yeah, type of
educational
deal.
connection.
I love that. That's what was so cool to me. Cause I also had John Paul on, I love like his garden and things like that. But I'm like, what? It's nature and art. Let's go. Like, I love that. And like we said, because we actually city kids who go to Puerto Rico and get excited, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
about being outside.
I
Like,
don't sleep.
yeah,
Like
when you're out
2
there.
days, 3 days before I'm going, I'm like
Yes.
2, 3 in the morning. I'm like, go to sleep, dude. You got to catch a flight.
Right,
You know?
right. But it's exciting, agreed. Like, it's definitely unlike anything. And I love the sounds. I love the smells. Like, it's just everything out there is just unlike anything else. So I love that this was like this cool blend. So then, like, was that their idea, yours?
No,
Like,
that
who
was,
came?
that was basically me. It was something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah,
Bringing those la herencia de
yeah,
Puerto Rico, like the culture, what I was brought up with.
yeah,
Parents when lived in how the houses are here. They got like a little area with
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah.
They plant
Yep.
raíces and
Oh, yeah.
culantro,
It's
cilantrillo.
good.
So it's like that's where it stems from.
Okay.
And then being exposed when I grew up there
Yeah.
as well, learning a lot of the traditions
Right.
and like holistic approaches.
Right.
And then I was like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
It's like an homage
Yeah, type.
to the
Exactly.
culture. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's super cool. And that's super cool. So some of these partnerships that you now have, or like these opportunities you have, I would say, Cultura Clothing, like allowed you, like it gave you that opportunity to like meet folks, I guess, essentially, or like how did it lay down that framework that you now know, you know what I mean?
Not just the brand. It was more or less the connections before the brand, like the people that we all know, the network, in
Yes,
Cleveland,
absolutely.
artists,
Yep.
teaching artists.
Yeah.
Those were the people that gave me an opportunity, that
Right.
brought me in.
Exactly.
It's not easy when you're self-taught.
Yeah, I bet.
When you're a self-taught artist, it's kind of harder to get your leg in there.
Yeah.
But I was blessed with the people that gave me an opportunity.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. You guys already know who you are.
Yes.
So I'm just blessed to be doing art.
Yeah.
Being able to create,
Right.
and I feel like I want to express to children and to the community more that we can do it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you come from.
Right.
It's possible. You
Yeah.
can be in the rooms. You can open those doors.
Absolutely.
You just have to want it.
Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. And that's what I was gonna ask. Like, is it also so you get to do art, of course, like you're an artist yourself, but as somebody who has to then teach it to other people, like is there I'm sure there's like added gifts, with that, but like is it, compared to being able to produce the art that you do on your own, like is it, even more rewarding? Like what's the experience like
It's
versus
more rewarding.
Okay.
It's way
Okay.
more rewarding because in the communities that I teach, they look like me,
Yes. Okay.
you know,
Yeah. Let's go.
like us.
Yes.
So it's good to see the examples and to see
Right.
that it can happen, that
Right.
it is doable, that
Yeah.
it is possible.
Right.
And I try to instill that when I teach,
Yep.
especially in the communities that we teach,
Right.
where there's a lot of diversity
Right.
and not a lot of opportunity.
Right. Yeah.
I try to at least show the students or the children that are part of a workshop or a class
Right.
or summer programming. I've
Yeah.
done that as well. So all the different facets of teaching,
Right.
I just try to instill that is
Yeah.
that it is possible to get do
Right.
art and get paid.
Exactly. I know.
It is possible to create, and it's okay
Right.
to create. And it's okay to tell your story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think that's a big thing because truthfully speaking, like it can be this great thing you do, but that is the stigma behind it that a lot of times we make it seem like it's not something that gets compensated very well, even though it can and there are avenues. And I mean that's also what I'm excited to see though. Like you said, that there are these grants, even in our city, like we said, Cleveland. I mean, I know we're not the only ones, but it's just that, more people are actually putting more support behind these
Yes.
things, and that's also something that's never too late because we need that. We definitely need more of those initiatives and more of that instead of it disappearing
Yeah.
and not being a part of what we're doing.
Because it has disappeared. I
Yeah.
remember back in the day when we were in schools, we had all that.
That's true.
And we don't have that now.
No.
You have to maybe go somewhere else to find that.
Right.
Or other neighborhoods to find that,
Yeah.
which is sad,
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because we should have the same opportunities. It
Right.
shouldn't be lopsided.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about it. Like just seeing, it should definitely be part of regularly of what it is, but it hasn't always. And I agree with you too that growing up, I don't remember like having all these events and like art outside. I even love how like Julio Burgos, so that's our cultural arts center in Cleveland. Yeah, it really is.
They burned
But
it.
yes, absolutely. But they're doing so much more art like things. And I don't remember it being that much like when I was growing up. I mean, they were always doing great programs.
Yeah.
But the art piece has been that focus has really
Giving
grown.
opportunities to all facets of arts.
Yeah.
Not just like art, not just like acrylic or painting.
Exactly.
Poetry,
Yeah.
documentaries, film.
True.
So,
Yes.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Letty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we love you. We definitely do. Yeah, she another one. I love like calling her out too. She another behind the scenes one. She don't like to be called out, but yes, girl. Yeah, definitely that. But agreed. And like it's just a fun and exciting time because even there was like a what was it? Didn't what's the name do like a film festival, I believe too, like Latino based, the Latinas theater.
Yeah.
She was doing a film festival, yeah, which I'm like the first of its kind, Latino movies and all these things. So it's just really cool to know that, like you said, it's from those different areas, not just just one particular type of art, but period that we're growing that conversation and that like we're getting more creative.
Even this
Yeah,
podcasting.
yeah, exactly. I'm trying.
You're doing your thing.
I'm trying. But I'm excited. I would love to see more of that too. Like, what I'm saying, more of these conversations being built, you know what I mean? And that more people who want to try that, like that they can. Cause it's like you said, I also was like, well, I kind of have something that I want to, put out there and see how it goes. But like
You're
sometimes
doing it. You're an example.
I appreciate it.
You are. I mean, you don't know who's watching.
That's true.
You know,
I don't.
You could be a young girl.
Yeah.
And can definitely gravitate towards you. So you're doing your thing.
I appreciate
Give you
it.
your flowers. I commend you what you're doing. You found your niche. You know what I'm saying? So
I
keep
appreciate
pressing.
that. Well, thank you. But the feeling is mutual. That's why you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And you balancing that while doing a lot of different things. So I know you play a lot of roles, married and everything.
Yeah.
So like, how's that like just balancing life when you're self-employed and doing all the things? How is it like balancing your whole world?
Having the support of
Yeah.
Wanda. She's over there. Shout out to Wanda.
Yes, of course.
She keeps me sane. She
Right.
brings me back. She checks me,
Let's go. Right.
and not sometimes, you always need that. You need
Yeah.
someone in your corner like that,
Right.
because that's a job in itself.
I mean, let's
So-
go.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And that's what I love to see too, though. Like being
And she's everywhere with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's cool too. Not that I want to put you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot. But like, I love that, like, you have something like that supports all the things you do. Cause sometimes it can be a lot, you know what I mean? Like you are in a lot of different spaces and you're being asked to do a lot. Workshops, those were late at night. So like, these were in the evenings. It takes up time. So like, I don't know if that's something y'all just grew together. Y'all always clicked in that way that it was
No,
always.
whenever we come up with something like that, or even when we did this last workshop, it was more or less, we wanted it to be accessible to
Yep.
everyone. People work.
Right. Right.
They're structured, the scheduling and
Yeah.
children, and it was more or less a safe space to disconnect and connect into a different frequency. That's why I said Puerto Rico's like that.
Yeah.
So
It
to
is.
bring that to the people that don't understand it, that don't know
Right.
about it.
Exactly.
But yeah, like we're me and Wanda, we're organic. I think I don't know how we do a lot of the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough time in the day.
Right.
But we're just blessed.
Yes. Absolutely.
Blessed, and I thank God, and
You're right.
to be able
Exactly.
to do this.
Yeah. And it is dope. It is dope when you have somebody to support you and wants to see that. And then like that can grow together. Like you said, it's not, y'all don't have to not only are you doing things that don't feel like work, but when you're with the right person, you know what I mean? Like they help you to like grow things. Yes,
Yeah, 'cause
exactly.
If it's not like that, then it's like not. There's a disbalance. You lose equilibrium.
Yeah.
And that's when you veer off your passion, or
Yeah.
you have to shut it off. 'Cause
Mm.
I've heard a lot of stories, that people want to be doing what they're doing, but they just can't.
Right.
And life's.
Yeah.
Life is lifing.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah, it is.
So
Right.
I just say, I tell people this, like half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 20 minutes.
Right.
That you pour into yourself a day,
Right.
even if it's little or a lot,
Yep.
will get you there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And I think that's what we don't think of. We think unless we do like a certain amount or something like that, or a perfect product or whatever. But it's like, no, like this stuff is, good for you. And that's what I think has been also an interesting thing to know is that like it can be therapeutic, and it sucks when it loses that value behind it. So I love that you're also, so with you though, I gotta ask, like, because I've asked of different creatives as well. Is the passion still able to be there even though you've converted into a business, or like how do you find a way to still keep it, where it's not?
I think it's the passion's there.
Right.
It's never left.
Yeah.
It's more or less the intensity,
Let's go. Right.
like the level.
Okay.
It can come down, it can go up, but it's there.
Right.
I can only speak for myself. The moments when the intensity changes is when something is going on that impacts here.
Okay. Yep.
So a lot of the stuff that's going on now has really got my creativity like up there.
Okay.
So there will be new things coming out, especially not just personally, but with the organizations that I'm a part of.
Okay. Yep. Very good.
So we're really looking into tapping into the educational, the self
Right.
educational journey for our members and myself and the community.
Right. Exactly. See, and I love that. So like a beautiful blend to be able to do that. But so for you, opposite. So like it's not like it shuts it down. If anything, it turns it on up. You know what I'm saying? So you are definitely feeling charged, and like it gives you, and that's awesome because it just means it's fitting your purpose behind it. You know what I'm saying? And and it's your way to take a stand against something, but in a great productive way. And it's your way to give back and do that. So like I love, you know what I mean, that's what it's doing for you. But like, yeah, it's something we all need. We need something that we can at least use, or else it's gonna no volvemos loco. You know what I'm saying? Like we go crazy
That's why I
otherwise.
say pour into your cup.
Yeah.
It's very, very beneficial to do that because we tend to lose ourselves with the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Monotonía,
Right.
and when you don't dedicate some time to yourself, you won't be able to help anybody else. You won't be able to like pour into anybody else. You won't be able to feel and help
Yeah.
anybody else. So
No, not at all. These things matter. But we do agreed with you, though. It's definitely some interesting times. And again, based on when y'all hear this, the political climate is, it's very interesting right now. And it'll be real interesting in a minute when we find out who's going to be, who it is. But agreed, like there are positive things and outlets that you can definitely use, to cultivate. And so what I'm definitely curious about is that with that being said, are there things on the horizon for you that you're hoping to like grow, do more of? Like you've done a lot of great things already, but just curious about what,
definitely. There's always some around the corner. I think that if there isn't something around the corner, then you get stagnant.
Right.
And for us right now, when I say us, I like to talk about the organization, the Young Lords.
Right.
We are going back to Boating King
Okay.
again in May.
Okay.
We go October and May. And this last time was very, very important, very special.
Yep.
Because we got full participation from all the chapters.
Nice.
So we
Wow.
had members from all the cities.
Oh, how cool is that?
And which was very, very significant.
Yep.
And anybody that's willing and wanting to help and in the forum, you can shout, you can hit Manny Che, you can hit me up,
Right.
any of the Young Lords. And if you want to be a part of it,
Right.
more than welcome. The doors are open.
Right.
It's the people's work,
Yeah.
so we're going to be up in the mountains,
Yeah, exactly.
painting, helping, fortifying those relationships
Right.
with Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
And just helping.
Yeah,
Being a part of
exactly.
something.
Yeah. Right. And that's what I think is dope. That's why I think it's great that you shouted out that's already an opportunity, y'all. So, if you're thinking like, well, how can I learn more? Like you said, how can I do more? How can I give back? And really know that it's going to people, because that's also a hard thing, is that a lot of people take advantage right now. And this is the time where a lot of people are asking, what I'm saying, for aid and different things like that. But sometimes it's hard to know where if your dollar is really going to use well, and if it's going to really reach the right people.
Yeah.
And so I have always loved supporting y'all efforts too. Like I remember one point it was like the Feluke was doing something. something, and also you guys were about to organize to go to Puerto Rico, and I was like, let's go. Like, these are the things I'd rather see my money go towards, because y'all are really doing it. And even if y'all can afford, like you said, to come out, you can definitely contribute towards the trip. You know what I mean? And know that you guys are actually going to volunteer with real folks.
We're there for at least minimum 10 days.
You're right.
And every cent, every penny goes towards not just lodging or trying to get our members out there, like materials, like paint materials, brushes, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Like we're investing in the local community, like the panaderias, the ferreterias, the local restaurants, So everything's going to local.
Yes.
It's in those pots,
Exactly.
Which they need help.
They
So
do.
we keep it amongst ourselves,
Absolutely. And we need to. We need to do more of that because it's hard.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of things are getting bought out. And Puerto Rico's definitely, unfortunately, a very good example of economically how things don't,
Don't make sense.
They don't. And that was a little bit that's always heartbreaking too, is just seeing businesses that disappear after a while because they cannot, they're not sustainable, unfortunately, and there aren't enough people. They don't have the support, so they can't, and they just can't compete, with what's taking place. So anytime we can like pour back into that, like you said, it is great, but we do have to do that on the local level because unfortunately, if we feed into the bigger dollars, that's already what happens in America. Like that's already.
We're really not.
Yeah.
Not being a part of the change.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not if we do that.
And to kind of change it up a little bit, personally, hopefully, I would like to, collaborate with more artists.
Yeah.
Locally.
Okay. Yep.
Showcase our uniqueness and greatness.
Yeah.
Dopeness.
Right.
And I just want to keep creating.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Let's go. And anytime you can do that with more people, you know what I'm saying, and get more out there, absolutely. Got to. And I do think that, and everybody brings such a unique, different thing and different message and different gift that it's like, why not? Like that can get poured up more and we can do it. I love that. And again, and reiterate, and with that, so that's why y'all need to, again, pour into y'all local efforts, you know what I'm saying, into y'all local drives, because too often we're giving money to people that don't need it. And so and that's unfortunately part of our framework in our society. So when we could go against that and actually get to local places, like that's the better thing that we can do. And in our place, we're actually honoring where we came from, in the process, but also a place that really does deserve it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, doing real great work.
We've been helping a school out there one of the schools that closed, one of the 600 plus schools that closed in the educational system. The school is the only school in maybe a 20-mile radius.
Right.
So all the students had to move and go down to the city school. There's a high school in the city.
Right.
So it's kind of hard and difficult, when you have to make those changes drastically. And we've been repairing 4 school rooms, turning them into a hurricane refugee type place. And they also do community workshops. They use it for elections as well, community spaces. So our work does have a meaning. It's not just we're just going out there to do something.
Yeah.
There's connections there. There's bonds that are being created.
It's intentional.
Yeah, it is definitely intentional.
Yeah. But wow, but also that's a lot of impact with that, but it's also that's a big thing though. I'm glad that space gets used for all those things. It just, the only unfortunate side of that is that Bendito, it has to be stretched to do that because it's the only one, available within it. But, and I'm glad you spoke to it because as a graduate of Puerto Rico, I was curious if you had obviously firsthand experience with the educational system. So did you get to see it firsthand that it was the beginning of the suffering of it or the reduction?
It was the beginning of the suffering of it. Yeah, it was the beginning of the decisions that were that weren't right.
Right.
Once I left, I graduated 2003, so I think 2005 or something like that was when a lot of the corruption was being brought up and stuff.
Right.
Long story short, you drive around a lot of cities and towns in Puerto Rico because we do a lot of work in other towns as well.
Right.
You see the difficulty in not being able to go to school or having to drive far and not having the means, the money, the financial, access to a proper education.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these schools are closed.
Right.
And then they don't use those spaces for anything.
Right.
So it's
just sitting there.
They're deteriorating. So we were blessed to be able to have this conjunction or this opportunity to work with the city of Yabucoa.
Okay, wonderful.
The mayor has been on par and on about it as well. The community has been accepting of us from the diaspora.
Exactly. Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yes. Because I'm sure. Right. But I can imagine, because even that, like, that's a big identity factor for Puerto Ricans, the ones that are on the island and, the ones that are here on the, I don't like to call it the main island, but, the continental United States versus being there. But agreed. Like, but that's awesome that you were accepted then, because, yes, that can be
And it
tricky
took time.
waters. Yeah.
It took for us to keep showing up.
Okay.
To build
Yep.
those bonds, right?
Yes.
To create those relationships,
Mm.
because a lot of organizations just go and they don't come back. They
Right.
don't follow up.
Yeah.
So now we're strictly, that's how we do it. That's how we roll.
Right.
And we don't plan on stopping.
I mean, amen. And you earn that trust, though. Yeah, Bendito, because I can see that. I can see that they're probably like, well, Bendito, what are you guys going to do? You know what I mean? You're going to be like the next people that just leave out on us. And then, but instead, you're like, no, not only do we want to build a relationship, but we about to be consistent. We're going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And if anything, we're going to bring more people. You know what I'm
And then
saying?
we found out, luckily that some of the members are related to some of the members there.
Oh,
To
there you
some
go.
of the people that are running things in the community. So it's
Wow.
crazy how
Yep.
a lot of these,
Wow.
if we wouldn't have been out there, we
wouldn't even known that. Yeah.
And shout out to Yolanda and her crew out there in Yabucoa and for giving us an opportunity,
Right.
and letting us break bread with you.
Right. Truly.
And we look forward. I always look forward to going to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
Any
we've been talking
chance.
about it for a while. But.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously because it's that good. Yes. But yeah, no, very, very cool. And for anybody that's trying to do like maybe community work, artistry work, creative work, whatever it is, if you had some words of wisdom, little advice for them or anything like that, like, is there anything that you would say, offer?
Don't be afraid to knock on doors. Don't be afraid to ask these organizations that are out here doing the work as well.
Right.
This is not just us.
Yep.
There's a lot of organizations. You got Julia de Burgos,
Actually, yeah.
HBC, you got Young
Absolutely.
Latino Network.
Yeah.
You got Lifting Puerto Rico Project with Rosa and Lincoln
Right.
Global Studies. A lot of different organizations. There's a lot of
Right.
organizations now.
Yeah, there is.
So there's a lot of groups that are, a part of the movement, part for the movement.
Right.
I'd say reach out.
Yep.
You can reach out to us, New
Yep.
Young Lords, Ohio.
Exactly.
Cultura Clothing Co.
Yes,
so,
yes, you can.
yeah.
Right.
So we're here. Definitely here
Yes.
to break bread and definitely here to strengthen those bonds.
Exactly. And so you were encouraged to tap into that, what I'm saying, and join Fart. And that was actually my next question too. So if folks did want to like connect with you, learn more, what I'm saying, or learn how they can help or be a part of it in any way, how can they find you?
They can find us, Nora Young Lords Ohio,
Yep.
on Instagram, Nora Young Lords on Facebook, Nora Young Lords Ohio on Facebook, myself, Cultura Clothing Co. on Instagram. So that's Cultura_Clothing_Co. Facebook as well, Cultura Clothing.
Yeah, wherever you want. Exactly. No excuses because there's so many. But yeah, and I do love. So there's definitely so many things to pick from, you know what I mean, and all that. But there's definitely so many opportunities to be able to tap in, connect. So if you want to do it and you don't want to do it alone, you can do it with some great people that are doing great work.
Thanks.
So yes, absolutely. So with that, man, thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. And thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? As always, like anything that resonated with y'all, please like tap in, like feel free, reach out, especially during this time. Like we said, it's hard out here, y'all. So like we got to be together, we got to support one another. But any part of that, I definitely feel like I hope y'all feel encouraged to check in, connect, do whatever you can. But thank y'all for always supporting. And like I said, thank you again for coming on. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to do it again, y'all. Another Feel Good Friday. But as always, thank you. And thank you, everyone.
Adelante.
Amen.